We're here with the crew of Onyx. Now we're just getting started with this journey, and our first tier is a simple one where you find value in supporting the channel and all that goes into it. But let's have a little fun with it too. So claim your throws when you join the crew and get on the Onyx float. Get your membership badges and official crew emojis, our tiny pile selections with a big bang of hidden messages. These can be used to highlight which piles you choose going forward. At true size, it's just the decorated pile number, but zoom in and the crew might recognize a little more. Woo woo 1, look at you 2, there we are, there we go, on the count of 3, and falling 4. Claim your throws and let me know which door you think we should open next after you hit the join button. Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So we're back with another pick a card reading. It's almost the end of the woo season, and so I did a reading last year that I told myself I was going to repeat again this year, and so here we are, here we go. I'm not sure what title you're going to see as I'm filming, so if I conflict the literal title with what you're hearing me say in each pile, just roll with it, because the content is still the content. I just need to figure out what I'm gonna label it for the sake of YouTube, okay? But I think last year I called it what's the karma, what's the outcome. It's basically a spirit guide, ancestral reading. The veil is very thin this time of year, which is why we have this theme. And so I'm gonna recycle a thumbnail from last year, add some new flowers, and get going. Also, you should have seen a clip right before this intro talking about joining the crew. This is the type of content that we will eventually be making sure we add to that membership. So it's going to be a variety of tiers. I'm still working out what makes sense for me and what would make sense for all of you. So join in, support the channel, and we'll definitely be adding more stuff to that over time. Okay, we're going to build on it for sure. So let's talk about the energy of the reading collectively for all of the piles. It feels clean, it feels cleansed. I'm excited, I feel good, because these are very weighted, heavy readings. I like them because they feel like personal readings for all of you, which is why I'm excited about memberships to make that more accessible to a lot more people. Okay, now I have my sea salt and sage candle burning. Okay, it just literally was the one I grabbed. There we are. And so it just cleansed space. Even the way that I'm going to do the reading a little bit is different. I'm using a different structure with my decks. I have, if you're familiar with me, this is usually one of my advice decks. It's going to be an overview today. I have 2 decks that want to be used. So I'm not going to flip-flop the piles. I'm going to use them both. I have not done that in a collective reading in literally years. So we'll see how that works out. And I have, I have only one of my astrology decks, a healing oracle, and then I have what is that called, my magical botanical deck that I haven't used in so long, but it's gonna be advice today. So I'm intrigued as to why on a whim I feel the need to be doing what I'm doing the way that I'm doing it. Right, because we don't fight back. We kind of roll with the energy. We want the most accurate messages, the most accurate read. So that's what we'll do. So I'm going to just let you know to be open to your messages, because in me recognizing that I'm being called to do things in a way that I just do not, that's unfamiliar to me, some of these messages may take a bit to resonate. Maybe up to a year. I don't read beyond that. But I don't know. I feel like today we're going to get some stuff that maybe people aren't necessarily ready for. Not in a worse way. Could be. I don't know. but it just feels like, okay, being a little more ahead than what we're accustomed to on this channel. So I'm really excited because, again, I'm using this reading to kind of plug memberships. I feel like the people that watch these readings would be more interested in that. And if we're already starting the energy of the crew with, okay, we're already a little more ahead than what we're used to being, then who knows what's going to pop up once we actually launch the memberships like fully, right? That's exciting. So for those of you that are visually impaired, or if you simply like to choose based on me verbally describing each pile, let's do it now. Pile number 1 is the Black Dahlia. It has white and black roses with it as well. Pile 2 is a very, I don't know why I want to say photogenic, but it's like there's a certain filter used in the photography of that sunflower. It's very moody, okay? Pile number 3 is blue and or purple periwinkle. And then pile number 4 is orange golden marigolds. I'll give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, my Black Dahlia with white and black roses. We're going to see kind of what's the karma, the outcome. It's just generally divine guidance messages, right? From spirit guides, anything ancestral, whatever comes through of that nature, hence the lifting the veil symbolism, okay? So for those of you that are new here, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson and the journey. Okay, so these messages, I don't know, this pile already is one of grounding. So I don't know how you're feeling now. I don't know how you're anticipating that you'll feel in the next couple months, however long, but I took a deep breath and I just felt myself step completely into my body and ground for this specific pile. It's feeling very rooted. So if that's what you feel like you need, keep progressing, sit tight, because it is coming. So let me get my overview so we can see why that's a thing and just what else is coming in. Holding it upside down, look at me. This is definitely a pile of being connected to the moon cycles, for sure. Okay, my pile 1, my Dahlia roses pile. Tell me the karma, the outcome. What ancestral spirit guide messages do we have for pile number 1? You know, you may be the pile that prompted me to do this today. I was doing other things, and I don't know, I got a wave of feeling excited. I was like, oh, I want to do a reading today. Let me do the one that I've been putting off for a little bit, right? And I kept seeing this card, the letting go, and it ended up being your overview. So I mentioned the grounding. This is a pile of you kind of releasing and grounding, okay? Now we have the cute little crab, so maybe you may have Cancer placements, or you may just be connected to like the ocean and water. I mentioned the sea salt nature of that candle, right? It's sea salt and sage, which is purifying, right? Which is exact energy of this crab and this letting go energy. So I like it. I like it. It feels very clean. Feels brand new. And look at you, blessed day. Okay, yes, I like it. Okay, so this is a pile. What you need to know, I mean, when we talk about just karma, right? Like, what's the karma coming in for me? Great, excellent karma. You're going to release, you're going to clear, you're going to become brand new, fresh from scratch in some area of life, or maybe multiple. And in that releasing, in that clearing, in that creation of space, you see blessed day. So I like it. So let me see why I got 2 different decks wanting to talk. 2 different tarot decks. I don't normally use that. So let me see. Tell me more about my pile number 1. Okay, so the world, right? Honey mushroom. So it's kind of an end incoming energy of an ending. So I feel like a lot of you kind of get a little bit ahead of yourselves. It feels like if you watch the intro, I mentioned this feels like a pile of being like, we're like, this feels like a reading of the people selecting this reading may not see whatever I'm talking about for like a year. I don't read beyond a year, but sometimes I read messages and it comes through next week, week after, next month. This feels like, no, we are ahead in some way. And I'm here to tell you that this is just the beginning. Whatever you're currently experiencing as you're watching this video, whenever you find it, because it's timeless. Like when you find it is when it is stepping into your timeline, okay? Incoming closure. So I don't know what that is, what area of life that's regarding. We may get more details. I don't have as many decks today, so we will try, okay? We'll try because, again, the energy is very different, very weird. So letting go of something that's simply going to take a little bit of time to completely release. Keep that in mind, okay? So let me get two more. 10 of Swords. Well, there we go. I don't know how, I can't say that word. Stinkhorn. Some of you get all like aggressive in the comments when correcting me. So I'm like, I don't have time for that. It's not that serious for me. But we have 10 of Swords, right? Which is usually destruction. It's complete, like it's rock bottom energy, okay? And in the 10 of Swords, it's usually a combination of internal limitations, right? Self-sabotaging tendencies, but a huge portion of it is really your external factors, right? Like you cannot be stabbed in the back necessarily by yourself. So you know what I mean? So like that's kind of the energy of that card. So that incoming closing of a cycle regarding that type of energy. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a shadow pile. I want to get another card before I get to the shadow side of the pile, but just be cognizant of the energies around you, the situations you're in, and the people that you allow in your space, just because of that and the way that it came, right? The incoming energy of an ending and it being a very destructive one, that again, past, present, incoming. So together I have the Moon as well as the Ace of Pentacles. I love the jack-o'-lantern because this is like the Halloween season and things like that. And then what is that? Got a little bit of a truffle energy. So the Moon and the Ace of Pentacles. Now what I love, blessing in disguise. So past, present, incoming energy. You're gonna have to find yourself in this pile because we've got a letting go so that you can fully step into a blessed experience. And I say that because we have an incoming energy of the world in reverse. That's a blockage. So you either did or will attempt to cling to something that needs to close, okay? Lifestyle, people, situations, circumstances, whatever it is, you will attempt, right? Incoming energy of a blockage to closing a cycle. Like that will be you, okay? Because you'll feel that is a complete loss, a complete destruction, a complete rock bottom. Like that's what it's gonna feel like. That's gonna be your perception of it, okay? Because I'll read the incoming, right? But the reality is you cannot see. The moon is a lack of clarity. It's confusion. The moon comes out at night when we can hardly see. You truly do not understand that it is a fresh start that not only do you need, but will lead to this blessed day. Okay? And I say that because the moon is ruled by the sign of Pisces, right? It's ruled by the 12th house of all of our hidden limitations and our hidden gifts and talents, right? So it's the unseen in its entirety. It's the things that are holding us back, situations, circumstances, and people, as well as all that is available to us that we haven't tapped into yet, okay? Haven't tapped into yet. Hidden, gifts, hidden talents, hidden allies, hidden friends, hidden blessings in disguise. So that's what you need to keep in mind with whatever this new beginning, fresh start you're going to be encouraged towards. is, okay? Whatever area of life. So let me see what's at the bottom. Look at that star energy. Golden reishi. Hey, gold honey, you may be one of the ones that like loves this reading and loves to pick multiple piles. Hey, stand by for memberships, because I'm telling you, when memberships is fully launched, we're gonna do a lot of things like this, and I think I'm excited about it. So, but this star energy, you're being slid into your star power, okay? That's exactly what this is, okay? I think it's interesting that the incense is haywire in a way. Like, I always burn that incense in the exact same positioning when I'm filming readings, and I don't know why it's exceptionally chaotic today, but I'm telling you, it's like clearing. It's almost like it's clearing the energy of your reading off the table as I'm doing that, right? Like, that's what it feels like. So let me pull from this other tarot deck. We've got a couple of other oracle decks. I'm not gonna leave it all vague, but the dominant energy is don't cling, roll with it, because there's a cycle that is in the beginning. You're beginning the close of a cycle, okay? Like right now, there is a cycle that, and you may already feel like it's closed, right? Like you may feel like that, but it's not. Like it's the beginning of some type of closure, okay? Knight of Goblets. Yeah, so knights are very active, right? They chase whatever they rule, right? With this being a goblet, a cup, it talks about your emotions and your passion and the things that fulfill you, right? The things that bring you joy, the things that bring you pleasure. That's kind of where you're being called to prioritize your energy, okay? And where you struggle and resist, that's where you see more, I keep wanting to say the word clash, but it's kind of like you clashing against your spirit guides a little bit, okay? We get more. Let's pile number 1. Hey, look at you. Justice. So justice talks about balance. It talks about things that make sense, things that are fair, things that are for you, things that are true. Right? This is all about what makes sense. And it seems like this is a pile of your next stage, the one that's going to bring you that most optimal energy, right? Like, for example, if you're the type of person that actively prays in whatever form your religion calls for, you're asking for a blessed day, you're asking for this star energy day to day. Well, what is going to give you access to that? What's going to provide that to you? Like, what changes need to happen? How far removed from that are you currently? That's the questions you have to ask yourself, because this Knight of Goblets is going to get what you're praying for, what you're asking for, but it may not be the easiest path because it's the most unfamiliar, right? Especially those of you where we talk about how far removed you are from it. If you want a blessed life and you've never experienced that before, at least not consciously, right? Then it's going to take some adjustments, right? Let me see. Give me one more in the bottom, please, for my pile number 1 with this deck. And I do have a bunch of specifics. Let me touch on some. Healing into balance. That's what you have. 4 of Swords. It talks about rest and recovery and balance. And 2 of Pentacles talks about juggling things and having a lot going on and like trying to really balance it out. I got the Queen of Goblets here. We'll put it here. So the pile suddenly got really, I'm not crazy. It got quiet and then the air cut off and like now it's super quiet. So there's this really quiet energy here that, I mean, I guess it feels like healing, it feels like balance, it feels like recovery, it feels like hiding with that moon. Okay, maybe that's you, maybe that's someone connected to you. Let me see with this other deck so I can see what this is that's grounding. My black dahlia with my roses. What's the karma, the outcome? What is the spirit guide, ancestral message, please? There seems to be some type of balance that has to happen. Like, if you're in a situation where you need to heal, ground, and recover, you're being encouraged to prioritize that. And in you prioritizing that, everything else is going to work itself out. I know that sounds chaotic, but whatever the healing required on my table isn't like you have to do it. Like, if you don't, like, it's going to be chaos, it's going to be destruction, it's going to be self-sabotage. So just prioritize the healing and the wellness factor. It doesn't have to be physical, it can be, but it could be energetic. I mentioned all of the wave of clearing of energy, especially when we talk about that Ten of Swords. Because Ten of Swords and the moon feels like a backstabby energy. Like, if you've been in environments or situations where that's been a thing, this feels like my energy of recovering from betrayal. Does that make sense? Justice is a karmic energy in and of itself, and a healing and balancing out when it comes to that. So just make sure that's what you prioritize. Like, letting go and having a blessed day as your overview could be just kind of releasing what you can't control, at least for now, because it will balance out. Okay, give me one. You know, there's a lot for a quiet pile. It has a lot of talking. It's like discreet conversations. I don't know what that is. The new moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. If you needed that confirmation, there you are. There you go. We got new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. See, it feels like chill out, right? Your hard work is paying off. Meditate and contemplate, like heal, reflect, recover. Don't let pride get in your way with the full moon in Leo. Yeah, like, your hard work is paying off. Meditate and contemplate. Don't let pride get in your way, because this may be a little bit of a slow moving energy, an energy that's a little bit slower moving than you would prefer, because I mentioned the incoming of a blockage of a cycle that needs to close and a refusal of that. Like, I kind of get that a little bit. Okay, let me see. The energy is gaining momentum. Try to come out and revert, which talks about that resistance that I was just talking about. Okay, this is a pile. I mentioned we seem to be a little bit ahead for these groups. What I'm talking about now, like, this is months, maybe a year. I heard maybe even 2 for some of you, ahead of you getting this message, like you getting this message that far in advance. Because I see some energy grounding. But it's not necessarily fast paced. So let me see what's going on here. Let me see what's going on here. I'm gonna pull from Melanin Pop. I have a lot of time left compared to what I wanted. Like, this isn't a pile that's getting a lot of answers. So I'm gonna see why in a second, because I mentioned in the intro, I'm reading this in a different way that I'm not used to. But I'm gonna go back to my tarot in a second as well. We got omens, okay, which talks about messages. It says the hawk, hawks rule messengers. Okay, hawks are messengers. That's a key message of that card. And then we have needing discernment. So let me see. We'll get it. We've got a lot of time. I pulled my cards very quickly today. Very efficient. I'm going to move these right now just so that I can see what's going on here. Where we talk about paths to maturation with this Knight of Goblets, It's weird just because it's more than, like, it's two distinct people, and I'm trying to get a strong vibe of where you fall when I'm looking at these two people. I have like a more of a younger masculine on my table and a more mature feminine, and that seems to be some type of grounding required here. Let me get Melon and Pop and see what's the issue? What's the issue? What's this going on? A pile. Give me some more messages. What's the karma, the outcome from a pile one? Because this is an ominous woo-woo read in a way that I'm not really used to getting, if I'm being honest. I'm not used to getting. Very quiet pile. Some of you, okay, so, okay. All right. I got you. See, Melon and Pop talks a lot. It's one of those decks. It's loud, it's chaotic, it's very gossipy in the best ways. So, like, if there's a secret on the table, Melon and Pop will tell it, right? I get a vibe of some of you are here and in your reading and you trying to see what's going on with you. You're not really trying to see what's going on with you. You're trying to see what's going on with someone else. So you saw what's the karma, what's the outcome. And for better, for worse, you may be looking to see what's going on with someone else in the best way and or worst ways. This is a pile. It does say let go and have a blessed day. Now, when we talk about people, situations, circumstances where you feel there is some type of karmic debt, there it is. It was real quiet on my table. Just, it's almost like the person wanting to know that didn't want to be judged for wanting to know that. There is a karmic debt on the table. Yes, that is owed, that will balance. The end. Okay. Where you feel like there are karmic debts owed to you, your end of that is the lesson in paying attention to signs and having more discernment. Okay. That was your karmic lesson in the midst of whatever that was. Okay. And I do see a balancing of the scales where we talk about that. I see healing and I see balance, right? Energy neither created nor destroyed. What's sent always bounces back, and so on and so forth. So I do see that, okay? But don't fixate on that, okay? When we talk about moving forward and going ahead. Because I was wondering why that was so quiet. Because some of you were like, yeah, I'm here to see what the karma and the outcome is for me. I want to know what's coming for me. But at the end of the day, like, this feels like a pile of you're not really, that's why I'm too far ahead of you. I'm looking to see where I see shadows and I see recovery and things like that. I'm looking for you to see where you're headed and how it's going to be resolved. And I feel like some of you, depending on what happened, I don't know the chaos, and that's why it's so quiet, are still stuck on the pain and the retribution side of it, if that makes sense. You're like wanting to see people pay. Nothing wrong with that. I do not judge. I'm not all love and light. But this reading is already beyond it. There is a karmic debt that will be paid, but looking ahead to you, it's more rest, recovery, things like that, okay? Yeah, it makes sense you would have picked my Black Dahlia. It's okay. And it's all right. Let me see what Melon and Pop has to say. And you know what? The magical botanical deck is not friendly, so it'll probably give you some of the information you're looking for. So let me see. Tell me more about my Black Dahlia. What my Black Dahlia need to know now? Don't become jaded in a way where you self-sabotage, because like we have hard work paying off and grounding enough to where you're not, because right here I have discernment and omens. It's like it feels like someone on my table, like I missed the signs. Like I can't believe, like some of you are like, I got God. Like it could have been any type of connection. We have justice, which is partnerships ruled by the 7th house. Any type of legalities, any type of contracts, any type of relationships, connections. Could have been romantic. Could have been like any type of connections. Like you feel like you were got over on in some way. And in you feeling like silly, I guess, with the lack of discernment, like you're being encouraged to not let that limit you going forward, okay? I don't want that for you. So let me see. Tell me more about my Black Dahlia. What's the karma, the outcome, divine guidance? Yeah. If we're talking romance, don't overreact. Like, okay, if we're talking romance, like if this is a bad breakup, like, or if you like found out something about someone you were dealing with romantically, do not overreact by trying to rebound, okay? And we have copying by replacement, jealousy, not serious. Some of you are asking, some of you, the situation that you are here for, this is your situation. So like, it's an energy of jealousy that led you to where you are. I'm not saying you being jealous. I'm saying a certain person, individual, because it says coping by replacement. So it feels like, and it could be any relationship, right? We could be talking about a romantic partner that moved on in retaliation for you not behaving in a certain way, or we could be talking about any type of organizational structure where it didn't work out. So like we have that coping by replacement energy, but it's not serious. It just feels like it's not a working out of that. So Melanin Pop don't care. It's a messy deck. So if this is your situation, whatever coping by replacement, like if somebody tried to rebound on you in any way, whether we're talking about romantic, professional, friend, whatever it is, partnerships, it's not a real thing. Like it's not a real situation. And you'll learn that. That's probably why I mentioned this being like at least a year-long journey, because it like you'll realize, because this is my dark shadow pile. And that's okay, because the people selecting this pile wanted it to be a dark shadow pile. That's okay. But whatever rebound energy that you may have either been on the receiving end of, or just were negatively impacted by in whatever way, not real, okay? But do use your discernment going forward. So let me see. Tell me. That was chaotic. I'll take that one because it was loud. Slow and steady. Wise planning, meticulous, careful, and delays. Yeah, I told you. So slow moving over time, taking your time. Don't be quick. Like, don't let your pride get in your way. So whatever other people are doing, like, let them do what they're doing, okay? I don't know what the situation is. It's going to be different for all of you on my table. Do not overreact. Like, don't try to like bounce back. Like, I don't care about them. Let me find a new partner real quick. I don't care about this friend. I got a new best friend immediately. I don't care about this job. Boom, I'll go to this random place I don't know anything about. You know what I mean? Like, take your time, and any delays are to kind of put you where you're supposed to go versus where you're trying to rush and maybe even save face. Because some of you, it's more of a pride thing. So be cognizant of anything related to pride, okay? Like, because that could set you back when you move too quickly in a way, just to, because you don't want to move for somebody else, right? Like, I've never encouraged that. If you like, don't move out of retaliation for somebody else, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna date this person, I'm gonna do that, because don't do that, okay? Your reader would never tell you to do that, okay? Maybe take that energy and figure out something maybe you've been putting off, any type of projects, things that I don't know. There's just a variety of better ways to channel that energy that will benefit you long term, okay? Some of you, you're going to learn, I don't know why this is that kind of pile now, we got a little bit of time, that whatever rebound energy you were on the receiving end of, again, whatever situation, not only did it not work out, but it delayed someone, some people, some situation, organization in some way. So and by trying to either replace or rebound you, it just threw everything off, which is why you're being encouraged to not do that, right? Like, basically the moral of the story is whatever this situation is that you were on the receiving end of, it's already not good, and you're being discouraged from emulating that, if that makes sense, or doing that if that's where your head was, because you don't want to be in this delay energy that it seems like some people are already in. Okay, it feels like setback. So look at you. Listen, when I launch memberships, because I don't want to like feed that to the public, I might do some like what's their karma readings. I'm not above that. Like I don't care. Now if they start getting too dark, obviously I will literally stop because I don't want to be in that energy. But I mean, I don't run from the shadow. We've got the third eye, intuition, chakra blue, telepathy, and perception. Yeah, I mean, third eye talks about knowing and seeing things clearly. So slowly realizing certain things, right? Like you're gonna have revelations over the next year, as are other people on the table related to what I'm talking about. Okay, there's gonna be revelations of clarity and lessons, karmic lessons regarding discernment. Because if you were on the receiving end of a karmic lesson regarding paying attention to signs and messages and discernment, if you were on the receiving end of that, it's never one-sided. All of the collective is involved. Like none of us are separate. So if you have a one-on-one, one-on-two group setting situation that truly impacted you, it's truly impacting other people as well, even if it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so let me see what's at the bottom. Okay, so I grabbed this in reverse. I did. We have justice here. See, we got justice here, and now I have you are my world in reverse. Okay, now you are my world or reverse feels like justice in reverse. It says put on a pedestal, unrequited, unbalanced, and clinginess. So that's unfortunate. If this was your situation, okay. So let me run it back, because I know we get all over the place sometimes when the energy is too heavy woo-woo. Where we have an energy of coping by replacement, like a rebound that's just not going to work out in any setting, situation that you were on a receiving end. Slowly over time, that we're going to have a lesson in discernment regarding the person, people that was involved with that, with this third eye. And we've got this put on a pedestal, unrequited, unbalanced clinginess, where it's just truly not going to work in the worst way. Okay. And if you were like, oh, this happened to me, this is what you're telling me, this is why the energy is so shadowy on my table. Well, I'm telling you, I mentioned whatever you felt like you were experiencing was just the beginning of that closed cycle. When the cycle closes for you, it closes for multiple people, multiple situations, multiple settings, right? It's bigger than just you energetically. So I don't know, it feels like within a year I'm seeing an energy of revelations and discernment regarding people and situations and structures that just are not going to work. It's just not going to work. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why this is the key message you need to know, but I did mention this pile being one of being at the stage of like with grief, right? Like not being willing to move beyond whatever. So like a good example of what I'm trying to describe, I'm trying to say it in a general sense, but it's difficult for me right now because it's so foggy, probably because of the chaos of the energy surrounding like the people that feel wrong stepping into my pile. You saw the word karma and Cain. Welcome. Nobody's judging you here. But a good example is someone that feels like maybe they were like cheated on or sabotaged in some way, right? So like romantically, if you were cheated on and somebody like rebounded on you, or like if you felt like you were sabotaged in like your career or something like that, like those would be two key examples, and you're still in the pain of that beyond, like you're not at the, okay, how do I proceed? What's next for me? How do I start a new career? How do I find the love in myself again to meet a new partner? Like if you're not there yet, that's why my table is like this. And that's okay. That's why we got the read of it's not gonna work. And I don't say that to make you feel better. I say that because this is an ancestral spirit guide reading and it says it's not gonna work. And like I say that because it's genuinely like a this almost feels like a what's their karma pile, which wasn't the intention of this reading, but what you need to know is not gonna work. Very openly, very clearly, okay? So I'm gonna get your advice and close you out since you're not at that. Let's see. Some of you, what your karma is being able to say, I told you so. That's petty, but you know what? Sometimes when you're down, that's what you need, a little bit of a petty uplift, right? Like, I mean, I get it, right? Like, it just feels like the ability to say, I told you so, I knew it, right? Now, as I shuffle to get your advice, no, you know what? I don't want this to be advice. I want this to be what you most need to expect. I'm changing my mind. I can do it. I'm the reader. This is my table. What can you most anticipate at the end of the cycle of this pile? Because you'll be able to say I told you so, I knew it. And also I got a vibe of at the point in which this closes, and that's why you need to slow and steady. Don't let pride get in your way. Prioritize your healing and things like that, because at the point in which it happens, you won't care anymore. That's why my energy on the table is so confused, because you will not care at that point. Like, when it happens, when whatever doesn't work, whenever destruction happens, when you learn about it, you will not care. So I really don't know. So I'm not gonna lie, I expected my Black Dahlia to be dark and moody. I did, but I didn't expect it to be this message. So, because you're gonna be in star energy, like you'll already have been in your, you'll have already stepped into your Ace of Pentacles, your blessed day. You'll have already let go at the point in which all of this manifests. That's why I'm telling you, you prioritize what I'm telling you. Got it. Okay. So what do you most need to anticipate? I'll get you two. I'll get you an advice, and because you need advice. Because do not wallow in that. Okay. Do not. Okay. Yeah, I'm letting this pile be super long in a way, because I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what type of transits are going on right now or upcoming. We've got a lot of eclipses coming up in 2025. Maybe some of you are coming from that period. So we'll see. Let me see. Give me a pile number one, my Black Dahlia with white and black roses. Give me my advice to close out this pile and what they can anticipate at the end of this cycle. And again, just a reminder, not beyond a year. That's not, you're gonna be feeling really good though. Like, this is a really sensual energy. So you got something coming in the best of ways. So do we want advice? Okay, this pile doesn't want advice. That's fine. Tell me what's coming in. It's okay. Tell me what's coming in. It will be slow moving. I told you that, okay? You got slow and steady. Yeah, it's going to be slow moving, okay? So just be patient with yourself. Be patient with your journey. And don't wallow or cling to, like, whatever is going on outside of you. Because you can't control that, okay? But we do have the 23 Sorcerers Violet. I don't know what that is. So let me grab this book behind me. I love it. It feels like last year when everything was foggy, woo-woo, and scary. like some of the readings, even the love readings last year, were chaotic. And when I say last year, I mean 2023 my time. So if this, you go back to those readings. All right. I see things clearly. I remain grounded as I experience new things. And it says that this is the power of reaching, striving, and opening up more while remaining grounded, centered, and true to our past. Okay? Open up to the bigger picture and explore, but don't forget your roots. Okay? It says take reasonable precautions and be aware of the subtle forces around you, as the message will not be dramatic, but it will be clear if you are paying attention. That's that discernment message. Okay? That's that discernment message. What's at the bottom? Fly Agaric. I feel like this card used to come out a lot as well. If you came from those piles historically where it came out, because I feel like I've seen this card like the most. Okay, the most. So if you're coming from those groups, then welcome. Right. I am part of the enchanted world, and it talks about okay, it talks about awareness, taking risks in the best way. Well, this feels like a combination of you will be so free and living in such a beautiful, harmonious, and alignment path that you will not care. My pillow just randomly moved by itself. Right? Like, I've been sitting here for 40 minutes and it just randomly moved. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's a sign for get your rest, prioritize your rest. And at the end of all of this, you won't, like, you will not care. Like, I promise you, you won't care. Because you will be living in such a healthy and harmonious, like, basically what I'm seeing here is whatever you're here asking me about, whatever you have heavy in your mind or on your heart, the close incoming, like, they'll be just beginning whatever karmic cycle of growth that you'll have already closed. Like, I feel like this is a pile of you. If you prioritize yourself, like, it feels like, all right, this is gonna be super long. Bear with me. Those of you that want the reading, be patient, because I wasn't in, the energy is different from what I expected. This is a pile. The people, person, situation you're asking about, you sit tight. It feels like you're a little further along the karmic lesson than them or that person, whoever. And by the time they finally figure it out and close the cycle, you'll already have like entered fully a very blessed one. So like, you're already stepping into the blessings and the positivity and like the karmic rewards stage, and they haven't even realized that they're in a karmic cycle. Like they're just stepping into the point of realizing, awakening to, oh, this is bad. And then once you realize, you have to work through the lesson, close the cycle, then start reaping the reward. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's like, you're like, it's already like, you'll already be completely done with it by that point, if that makes sense. So that's what you need to know. That's what you need to know. So interesting. That's all I have for you today. My pile number 1. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the crew so you can kind of stay in tune with the things we post on the channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 2, my Moody sunflower. Let's see what's the karma, the outcome. We're just gonna get some divine messages from any spirit guides, just any ancestors. Just, that's the vibe, right? That's why it's lifting the veil, and whatever you see in the title, when you see it, that's the gist of what we're here to see. Whatever you need to know, what you need to be prepared for. If you missed the intro, quickly, based on how I normally read, it's totally different. For whatever reason, I was called to read these energies a lot differently today. I feel like I'm way ahead. I feel like the messages I'm getting today are way ahead. Like, I don't read beyond a year, but some of you, maybe this will extend beyond a year, okay? But like, it's definitely not going to be next week, next month, like some of you see. Like, I see you guys in the comments all the time. I love it when you're like, oh, I picked my pile, and then I saw him yesterday. Like, the love readings, no. This is not that kind of reading, and I don't know why, okay? So for those of you that are new, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson, in the journey, okay? If you came from the previous pile, do not go back. If you're not, like, if you came from it already, or if you were gonna go, just letting you know now, this is probably past. I kept hearing past, 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 and when I said the word past, it like, it echoed, okay? So that was already, and some of you, maybe this will be your past as well. And when I say past, Like, you know how I mentioned that year beyond a year journey? Like, maybe the past was the initiation of whatever the group is. Okay, I don't know. It's a woo-woo energy. So we're just gonna take what channels through. And I know I may seem a little all over the place today. I am, because I wasn't originally going to do this reading, and also that's kind of how I am when I don't cling to the message, when I just allow it to channel through me. That's the best way, when it is this heavy and flowy, to let it just kind of flow the way that it wants to flow. That way we know it's not a biased message, right? So let me see. Tell me about this Moody sunflower. What's the karma, outcome? What spirit guide, ancestral messages do we need to give to my karma to this Moody sunflower? Give me an overview, please. All right. So, what I like, this is your overview, right? This card that slipped at the top is something you may care, you may not care, right? It's something that will be of relevance in some way, but you may care, you may not care. We're going to take the bottom, but whatever this is, you may care, you may not care. Defense. Okay. It feels like protection. A lot of you thought this was a what's their karma reading. That's fine, I don't care. That's not what I want to lead with in a public reading. If you join memberships, eventually I may do these types of readings there. Okay, but I mean, I don't care. We have defense, so you may or may not care. You're being defended in some way, whether we're talking about in the higher realms or on the 3D. There's a defensive energy surrounding you. Okay, and then destiny, as you are on your path of your destiny. So I don't know why you may or may not care about the defense. Okay, and it could be both sides. It could be needing to defend your destiny, where you have energies against you, right? When you have opposition, could be, but you may or may not care, right? Because your destiny is your destiny regardless. So we have rebirth. There you go. Being reborn towards your destiny. All right. All right, we got space. I mentioned in the intro that this was like a brand new from scratch collective message. I mean, I am doing everything completely different from the way that I normally do. I'm using the decks in a different way. There's decks I normally use that I'm not using. So look at us. This will be an era. I actually heard this is a year of you being reborn towards your destiny. I don't know what that's for, but let me see what this is. The star. I think it's funny because like the candle, right? The ray hit it. Like the sun, the star. This is the golden reishi. You're about to be it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what you need to know, like, you are about to be it. The star, the sunflower. In whatever area of life that's relevant for you. So let me see. Got a little bit of a Knight of Cups here. We got the Chariot. Okay, more major arcana. You may be seeing repeating 1s and 7. We've got 17 and 7 on the table. We've got the 9 of Cups. Ooh, look at you. And then the bottom is the Ace of Cups. Fluted bird's nest. I have bird readings if you are interested in readings of this nature. Those are actually a lot more organized than this one is, because this is a woo-woo reading. It's supposed to be, and we roll with it, right? But the star, the Chariot, the 9 of Cups, Ace of Cups, like being rebirthed to the best version of yourself, and like the most unrecognizable in the best way version of you. Like 9 of Cups is fulfilled within yourself without consideration of anyone else in the best way. And that is something that feels new to this pile. It feels new to this pile with the Ace of Cups. It feels like a new journey on that, like of prioritizing you and the things you need to be doing. And I say the things you need to be doing instead of what you want to be doing, because what you need to be doing is prioritizing your destiny. And it's not always what we want, but it will oftentimes bring us the most fulfillment. Okay, with the chart, with the star and the chariot. Okay, I love that. So let me pull from these other tarot deck. Let's see what's going on here. Tell me more about the Moody Sunflower. What's the karma, the outcome, the most amazing life? Like, I mean, that's truly it. The most amazing life towards your destiny. The discovery of what your destiny is, or being further pushed down the path once you kind of figured out what you're supposed to be doing, right? And the length of duration of the reading, like when we talk about the timeline, it depends on where you are in the journey, right? If you don't know who you are and what you want to be doing or need to be doing, you're at step 1. If you figure that out, you're kind of a little further along and you're being supported on that path to get that done, okay? So let's see all 3. Okay, lots of thinking. Ooh. I don't know what this is yet, obviously, because of how it fell, but I'm excited because it landed on top of the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is like sneaky energy. In the most shadow sense, obviously, it's thievery and stealing, right? But in the best way, it's things that are hidden that can be revealed or can be discovered. And the 3 of Wands is looking ahead and knowing where you're going. So whatever this is, it's between that not knowing what's going on and the vision of seeing where you're headed. So got the Knight of Wands. Oh, that's activity. So what you need to know is very, very soon, information that you've not been privy to, things that have been hidden from you in the best and worst ways, right? Things that have been limiting you, sabotaging you, holding you back, right? Areas of life where you've been robbed, whether we're talking about literally or just in an energetic sense, right? Where you've not been able to know who you are and what you're good at. That's going to be revealed. And when you learn, when you discover, when you see clearly, that Knight of Wands is just chasing and ascending in a way that can't be stopped. Like, the Knight of Wands doesn't need to think, doesn't need to plan, doesn't need to feel. The Knight of Wands is action. It's okay, this is it, go. And going far ahead, like that 3 of Wands can see, okay? Going as far as you can see, okay? And even beyond with that King of Wands. And I love that we have a Knight maturing into the King, right? We've got kind of a maturation here. Some of you may have an older masculine supporting you on that journey, if that makes sense for you. Because we do have that Knight of Wands, King of Wands, someone that may see a lot of themselves in you, right? So I see that, and that may be part of the key in elevating, right? Someone that's like, when I was the Knight, this is what I did and how I ascended, and having that support towards your destiny and making the adjustments where you need to. I see that very clearly. Okay. Let me see. I have a Knight of Wands, and it's not gender specific. We do have divine timing to support what I'm saying, that already knows exactly how to step into the King. Okay. What I see here, this is my pile. What's the karma, the outcome? You have a very clear path that you're stepping into. You're stepping into a very clear path towards ascension. So whatever the rebirth is, everything is going to be easy. Ooh, I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. It must not have been easy. It must be hard right now. But I'm telling you, this is a pile of whatever the rebirth is. You're stepping into something that's very easy because it's your road towards your destiny. Once you're on your own road to your destiny, there's no deviations. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, it's easy. Things fall into your lap. That's literally how it happens. Now, life still happens. You still have setbacks. You still have difficulties, but day to day, generally, it's a clear path in a way that most people never get, because you have to step onto your destiny fully, authentically, okay, to even get there. That's why when we talk about people that are lucky in life, like people that are blessed in life, it's like, why does it seem so easy? It's not, but it feels that way to them because they're consistently working towards where they're supposed to be prioritizing their energy. Okay, that's the thing. So tell me, and the discovery of that is not always the prettiest. Okay, so tell me, my Moody sunflower. Hey, you know what? This may be my little divine masculine pile. Look at you. There's usually one of you in these types of readings, because the more masculine identifying members of the channel live for these readings, right? But I got masculine energy and transformation, rebirth towards your destiny. If you don't identify as masculine, which is funny because sunflower, right? This is you really stepping into your power, prioritizing that active principle of you, really getting that energy from the Knight of Wands and just becoming the king. It's not a gender thing. Like if you're like, if the masculine thing is throwing you off, that's step one of the issue is I'm not masculine. I don't identify as that. Well, that's the problem, is you're avoiding that side of yourself in a way that's a liability at this point. Okay. So you need to get to it, okay? Like figure out who you are and go. A lot of you that do identify as feminine that are like really embracing this, like, yeah, I like that I stepped into the masculine power. Stop that, ease up a little bit, just because you may be hyperactive on that. Usually where we're most comfortable is where we're pushed a little further from on the path to our destiny. So you're being told to ease up, right? You may be a little hyper masculine, right? And you need to kind of be reborn in a more softer essence of that Chariot, Nine of Cups combination, right? Ace of Cups talks about love, okay? All right. Look at that abundance. Check you out. So you're all going to receive abundance. I love being that reader. I hate being that reader because it's like everyone talks about how great everything is going to be. This is embracing and leaning into the rebirth and the transformation, right? Of the habits that are limiting you, of the areas of life that are setting you back, okay? So that you can fully chase in the best ways, or receive where you've been hyperactive, because some of you are hyperactive, okay? And allowing things to flow and come to you as they naturally need to, where you've done all you can do. So just to clarify, when I say hyperactive, I don't mean stop completely. There's a subset of viewers, I'll say, that kind of go, that doesn't know how to stop, right? So it's like, I'm working on this, I'm working on that. Okay, that's done. Boom, let's move on to the next thing without even letting the first one settle. If you know that you're hyperactive in that way, how do you receive the harvest of results, right? Like when do you receive rewards? If you never create the space for them, if you never create the time, if you are very passive, you're being called to do more, and you're going to have the energy to, you're going to have the inspiration to, you're going to have the clarity on how to move, right? Because that's what it is. It's the awareness of knowing when to move and when to not. If you know you've done all you can do and you're just making up extra work, then stop. Because some of you do that. Just stop. Okay? You just allow the harvest to settle. Okay? Because the abundance is here. We've got the masculine energy transforming into abundance. All that you can do, all that you've planted will come to fruition if you just allow it to. Okay? I like it. I like it. So tell me, but this is a pile of figuring out who you are and what you're supposed to be doing in this world. And a lot of you are already in the path. You just have issues balancing your active and passive principles, right? Where you're doing too much and where you're not doing enough. And again, I always say, usually if you're hyperactive in one area, you're underactive in another. So those of you that are overactive when it talks about building and towards your path, you're underactive in receiving and enjoying life and passion. Those of you that are a little bit too easygoing, that could fall in that category of a bit lazy, right? You're indulging a little too much. It's time to move, okay? So Let me see. Okay, number 2. What's the karma, the outcome? All right. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Hey, look at you. I'm telling you, that hyperactive side. This is my divine masculine energy, right? Knowing when to settle, knowing when to take breaks, knowing when to fully appreciate the abundance, because to keep moving and to never let things settle is a lack of appreciation. It's a lack of gratitude, because it is a lack of gratitude, because to move before one, like if we're talking work, to move to another project before the other one's done shows that you don't think that's enough. The energy that you're sending to the universe is that the first thing isn't enough, that you need to already move on to something else, that it's not enough to sit down and appreciate, that it's not something to be grateful for. You see what I'm saying? Stop that. Okay? And those of you with a lot of downtime that are really passive, and like I use the word lazy in a literal sense for some of you, but it's not about a lack of drive or motivation. It's more of a lack of awareness of what you should be doing or could be doing. Use that time wisely, that downtime where you have it, and just kind of reflect on who you are, who you want to be, right? Because that's what you're being told, because you're being reborn to your destiny, and when you figure it out, move on it, and you'll feel inspired to. Okay, look, see, full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. Okay, take some time to figure out who that is. All right, I mean, no, this is a pile of, okay, discover yourself, discover your destiny, and go. I'm gonna pull from Melanin Pop because it is a deck that usually gives a lot of clarity, and then I'll get your advice and what you can most anticipate, because that's what I want to do in pile 1, and then close you out, because it's not that kind of a pile. You have abundance coming in. The things you're working on are going to take you there. You just need to make sure you're putting the right amount of energy, not too much, not too little, into it. Taste. Hey, see, I'm telling you, flavor, sweetness, pleasant, expensive, beauty, details. You got money coming in. The end. This is my pile of, look at you. As long as you work on the right stuff and do the things you need to be doing, okay, with the right level of, what's the word I'm looking for, effort, right? Not too much, not too little. You got abundance and this beautiful life coming in, one where you'll be able to prioritize rest and all of the things. Okay, so let me get, I'll take 2 more. Tell me more, Spirit Guide. Okay, this is incoming. Hey, sunflower pile. Sunflower pile. You got the honey. Okay. Kind, caring, compassionate, loving, physical touch. Here you got the golden reishi, so check you out. But that is 9 of Cups energy. That's 9 of Cups energy for sure. Sweet and sticky. So kind, caring, compassionate, loving, physical touch. This is not only joy and pleasure as an individual, this is the joy and pleasure of companionship coming in for you as well. So look at you. Look at you. It feels like a very sweet, literally like candy, like honey partner coming in. Doesn't have to be romantic, could truly just be someone that supports you, but it just feels like someone that's sweet like honey coming in to support you. Okay, tell me more about my phone number 2, my Moody sunflower. Yep, soulmate. See, destiny, connection, love, unconditional compatibility. Got a soulmate coming in. Letter S could be relevant since we got 2 of those, actually 3 of those. Got hot sauce. Okay, lots of passion. Check you out. Attractive, feisty, on a roll, temperature, climate, and debates. Yeah, someone, you're gonna have a very passionate person around you in the best way. Okay, and someone that makes you feel all of those things, especially where you may not be the most expressive. Like if you're not the most expressive of because this is a loud person. Not loud like screaming, not screaming, but like affectionate, loving, caring, nurturing, okay? Some of you may not be used to that. I'm going to pull from this other deck because I have a little bit more time before I get your advice. So just give me a second. I'll pull from here, and then like I said, I'll get your advice and what else you can expect. This is a combination of just truly just enjoying a life, enjoying partnership, enjoying companionship, enjoying love and romance in the most sensual of ways. Like, that's this pile. It's a pile of like, oh, I got somebody that's like caring for me in a way that you're not used to, and all of the abundance on your path. And this person will likely be very key, because I think it's funny, I like Melanin Pop because it gets to the gritty and throws out the messy details that a lot of the other decks won't. So the fact that this connection came out with your destiny, like something about your destiny and your path, this person must be meant to support you on. So I love that. Look at you. Especially since you have an energy of grounding. This may be someone coming in to ground you, okay? Stability and security, performance, growth, and endurance. Definitely. So we're not meant to be individual, isolated creatures. We're meant to be a part of communities and things like that. So it feels like a person that's going to help you ground, because anytime you're on path towards your destiny, right? Like if you're actively on your path to your destiny, you will find the people around, more than one, that will come in to support you on the journey, because you're meant to connect and support them on theirs, okay? All right. We got a clock. I'm sorry, like... So this was already a pile of... This is my pile that... Okay, so you hold your breath and stop that, because every time that group steps in, I catch myself as the reader doing it. And then the incense was already fanning, so I was already like struggling to breathe. But like, some of you need to be better about the way you breathe. That's why you have grounding. Every time that group comes in, it comes in at least once a reading. But I catch myself doing that. Hey, check you out. I'm telling you. So you got a lot of soul. You got soul tribe coming in. You got soulmates, plural. Like one specifically will be romantic, but look at you. Well, you need to know soulmates are coming in, right? Soul connections, partnership, soul contract, life partner, but you have a key romantic partner coming in. Will be very, very sweet in all of the things. Heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, feeling lost, grieving, despair, breakup. Especially if that's what the rebirth is from. Okay. Let me see. This will be someone that has likely experienced that type of heartbreak, hence why they're so loving and caring, because they want that reciprocated, if that makes sense. Some of you have someone coming in that will help you ground and support you through some type of heartbreak. It does not have to be a romantic heartbreak, okay? All right. So let me get your advice card. My advice card for my Moody sunflower. And then what my sunflower can expect. A lot of peace, a lot of fun, a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure. Look at you. Look at you. So this is going to be a person. These are going to be people that are very protective of you. Okay. There we go. So oak as your advice. Let me see. Okay, your advice is to be strong. It says, I know my own strength. Okay, it talks about strength, protection, and good fortune. Okay, and it says the situations look good for success, and you have the support to go forward. What did I just say? What did I say? All the things I said. Okay, it talks about, okay, there is a cardinal there. I have cardinal birds on the channel. Go back. That may be your piles. Maybe your piles. But it talks about that being the bird of rejuvenation, hope, and energy. But everything we talked about, this is your advice. Allow people to support you. Be open to soul tribe as they come in. This feels like new people when we talk about rebirth. So you're going to have new people coming in. okay, or fairly new people around, and lean into that, because that's going to put you where you need to go, okay? And so you see henbang, got it. What's coming in? Hey, look at you. It says, I welcome and accept my ancestral inheritance. So we talk about spirit guides, we talk about ancestors. This is the ancestral pile. This is a pile of having ancestral support. So what's coming in? Strong ancestral support and protection. And the soulmates connecting with you will likely be tied to you in some way, very much supported by your spirit team and ancestors, okay? That's what we've got. So that's going to be that type of support. All right. But again, that rebirth is key, because it says you need to see things differently, looking at the whole of the past, present, and future for a complete picture, okay? You have to see things differently in order to get your ancestral inheritance, okay? It says you may find yourself gaining access to reserves of power or inspiration found in your ancestral lineage, and an awakening to deeper power and insight. And it talks about other ancestral gifts passed on to you that may have been forgotten that will be awakened. Ancestral pile. Ancestral pile, okay? So the revelation of that, feeling supported in that sense, okay? And then here I've got my wormwood. You may be coming from, I did a lot of readings with the poppy. If you search my channel, you will find them, okay? But wormwood. So let's check that out, and we will close you out. Okay, yep. I purify myself from all toxic influences. So, yeah, it talks about purging and protecting. Yeah, ancestral protection. Ancestral protection. This is a pile of ancestral protection. You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. You're going to experience it. Okay? In the most aggressive way. I feel, okay, it's like, I feel like this is the pile where it's like you may or may not be concerned about, and the defense card came out. Protection. And so those of you that came here because you like, what's their karma, whatever, if that's anything regarding that, those of you that came here wanting that, ancestral protection is on the table. You will see it, you will feel it, you will experience it. Okay? All right. But in the midst of that, don't forget about all your soul tribe, all your new like people, and like the soulmate coming in, and like the life path. Like, this is a great pile. This is a wish fulfillment pile, literally, with the 9 of Cups. Okay? A lot to look forward to. So that is all I have for you today, my Moody Sunflower. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the crew so you can stay in tune with all that we post here on the channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile number 3, my purple and blue periwinkle. Let's see what's the karma, the outcome. We're just looking to see the spirit guide, ancestral messages, just overall lifting the veil themed, okay? Now, for those of you that are new here, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson, in the journey. Now, the thing about this pile, I'm not sure what we're gonna get, because the main channel message I got was, I'm all right. Like, the energy, you know, that could be a very direct message, right, from the other side. Truly, like, someone could want you to know that. But I get a sense that's you. Like, if that's, I mean, I don't know what you're feeling now, but like, I just sat, and the channeled energy for pile 3 was, yeah, I'm all right. So we'll see what we get here. So let me get your overview so we can just get into this energy. All right. One of the things I mentioned to the other piles, I feel way ahead in this. I mentioned it to the other piles. I said it in the intro for those of you that skip it. My readings normally, they're all timeless. This is timeless, but like they move quick. Like sometimes I'm aligned with transits and people are like, yeah, the reading I got resonated the next week. I love that for you. This reading is not likely to be that way. I do not look beyond a year, but this one might take a little long just because something about the energy with the obviously lifting the veil, it just feels like a long-term read. So let me see. Periwinkle pile, tell me what's my pile? We need to know about the outcome. All right, we got a maturation of leadership. Look at you. Like it. So this will be an energy of you stepping into some form of leadership or you receiving the guidance of leadership. And it can be both, okay? So let me see what's at the bottom. Good fortune. Ooh, look at you. So a lot of you will be stepping into an energy where you're receiving like leadership, whatever that means, whatever area of life. I like to lead with academics and career because it makes the most sense. You'll be under the guidance of leadership that puts you in the best position to be fortunate as you step into whatever leadership is for you, right? Whatever level that is for you. And when we talk about spirituality and ascension, you will have the guidance and the support of your, I heard ancestors first, spirit guides, whatever religious practices you have, you'll have that leadership supporting you towards good fortune. You just have to be receptive to it. You have it available to you now, but something about the next year or so, you'll be very much so more receptive to it in a way where it's gonna deeply benefit you. Okay, but I do see already pile 3 is my group of promotions. It's my group of I heard advancement, acceleration. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna pull from these other cards. Okay, closed cycle of gaining some sort of knowledge of manifestation. Tell me more about my pile number 3, please. My periwinkle, what's the karma, the outcome, some divine messages do we have? Hey, check you out. It hit the floor, but here we go. Wheel of Fortune. Hey, check you out though. Leadership and success. I'm just close out the reading. What do you need to know? Good fortune. Fortune. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Fortune, 2 times on my table. There you are. There you go. So I'm gonna. Death talks about transitions and changes. It talks about inheritances. Look at you. All right. Page of Pentacles. This is, I mean, get money. I don't know what else to tell you. Get money. That's this pile, okay? Page of Pentacles talks about offers on a material plane, okay? Wheel of Fortune. So let me see. Give me another one. All right. Ace of Cups in reverse. Queen of Cups. So there's a couple of sides of you. Some of you, you're not, okay, some of you are stepping into an era. It's going to be different for all of you. It's always a polarity. We all have different personalities and different lessons. And sometimes they play off of each other. That's how we interact with each other in a 3D, right? So some of you are going to be put in a position of prioritizing your material plane, right? And when I say that, I mean stepping into an energy of leadership, stepping into an energy of prioritizing good fortune, building yourself up, and things like that. Like Ace of Cups in reverse talks about like things that would fulfill you a little more, things that would be a little more fun, things that would be a little more passion based, things that we would associate with like romance and fun. Some of you are going to be called to pull back and build, especially where you've been having a little too much fun, joy, pleasure, things like that in excess. Like if you haven't been building anything, working towards anything, then the call, this is literally the call. This is a direct call from your like ancestors, and spirit guides like, oh no, it's time to get to work. Okay, that's what I get. Okay, now some of you, I get a vibe of you being actively avoidant. There's always a polarity. There's a side that's like, I want to like go out and live my life with no responsibilities, and then there's the side that's like overly responsible. Some of you, you've already laid a good foundation to where the cycle, right, the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor, to where the offers coming in, you're not going to need to be hyperactive, because where you've been avoidant, you're being called to step into more of a receptive, emotion, passion-based experience with that Queen of Cups. Okay, so that's my polarity so far. Let me keep pulling cards so I can see, but I don't know that this pile is going to be extra long, just because it's just saying like you're going to be a very fortunate pile. Now the path to that fortune is going to vary, right? Like some of you, you're going to have the fortune, but you're going to have to work for it. That's the purpose. Some of you, you've already laid the foundation to where that harvest can come in. It just depends on where you fall, okay? Tell me more about my periwinkle, please. Karma outcome. What's the messages? Let's build on that message, please. What is that? King of Discs. All right. Valet of Wands. You know, that's another page. The Tower tried to slip out. Okay. Oh, so there's something hidden from you that's going to be revealed, but like, what is this? The star. Okay, all right, I like it. The moon and the star coming out. If you're into astrology, look at you. That's going to help support you if you're into astrology at all. Some of you are actually being encouraged to get deeper into astrology and the transits. Like, make sure you're following the transits. That's going to support you, okay? That's going to lead to success for you, knowing at least some type of foundation of those things. Some of you are going to become a star in the most unexpected area or way. Like, there's something you're going to be doing, and you're going to see success, but it's not going to be the way you expected to see that success. Like whatever the Ace of Cups was, like there was something you wanted, a very specific way of success. And you're going to get that success, but not the way you tried to do it, expected to do it, if that makes sense. Okay? Eight of Wands. So I mentioned this pile being a, like I mentioned the reading overall being one that's long-term. This is not a long-term pile. I hate when I have to eat my words. Like overall, it was like, I'm not saying that this is all going to happen quickly. You'll begin to see these results soon, very soon, much sooner than you expect. Now, the completion of this Wheel of Fortune cycle is going to be obviously much longer in time. Okay. There's some type of avoidance though, of like some type of connection. Like, I don't know why I get an air of like someone getting rejected on the table. I don't know what that is, but let me I guess I'll pull right. I went for that deck first. So let me see. Let me see what that is here. Just real quick, and then I'll move on to the other thing. Because where is Nona popping down? What is that Ace of Cups in reverse? 3. Hey, 3 is your number, huh? Check you out. Okay. Not today. Boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. All right. I'm not seeing this card. Sword and Rose, clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination, clock, needing time, cycles, takes time, time to heal, progressing. Okay, so whatever that romance is that avoid that rejection on my table, like it's like a Queen of Cups, whether that's you or someone you're interested in, I get a delay. There's gonna be a delay regarding something. It doesn't feel like necessarily a rejection. It feels like a delay, possibly for growth and ascension with that clarity and truth. Okay, you see at the bottom, you got twin flames, yin yang and balance, union, duality, complement, polar opposite. So maybe it's an awakening thing, I'm not sure, but it's just there is a delay. All right, on whatever that love is that hit my table, because there was definitely a rejection and an avoidance on my table. Okay, all right. I know it's very loud, but I feel like this is my pile that needs to clear energy with sound. So if you're feeling heavy, fall down, make sure you're like listening to sound bowls and things like that. You may be coming from or needing to go to the swans and the bird readings. Okay, my pile number 3, my blue and purple periwinkle. Tell me more here. And the eagle, check you out. There's an eagle on the channel. Okay, truth. So clarity and truth, revelations. You're gonna find a lot of truth soon, over some time. Like it's gonna be revelation after revelation after revelation in the best ways. Okay, but there will be some clarity and some truth coming out, and you are being led and supported, honoring your energy. Okay. So part of the truth in honoring your energy is recognizing your own cycles. Like I think where's the word cycles, your own clock, your own cycles, and listening to your body, whatever it needs. Because when we talk about like healing and rest and recovery and being tired, like listening to your body when it comes to those things. Okay, you're going to realize some type of truth when it comes to honoring your energy. It feels like a routine, and truly understanding how your mind and your body works. Okay, that's key, and that's going to lead to the most function. That's going to lead to the most good fortune. I'm talking too much because I guess somebody on the table doesn't want to need rest and stuff. Excuse me. But it's like, you know, understanding when you need rest, when you need extra rest, when you need healing, when you need downtime, puts you in the most restorative form to achieve said good fortune. You can't chase fortune, run down. The end. Okay. All right. And I am a little rusty today, guys. It's not just the talking too much like that. That is truly me. That is truly me. So tell me more about my pile number 3. What's the karma, the outcome, messages for you guys? All right. So we got the answers you need are coming. So full moon in Gemini, new moon in Aries. The answers you need are coming. Time to take action. I don't know what that is, but there's a clock. There's some truth being revealed. So okay, when it comes to all of the situations, like I mentioned a situation about you getting support, leadership support, you stepping into leadership, some type of connection where things are weird energetically, you're going to get the clarity on all of that. And when you get the clarity you need regarding whatever situation you get the clarity on, and it's coming in very quickly with that 8 of Wands, when you get the clarity, that's when you need to move. Okay, that's when you need to move, okay? Well, listen, so definitely partnership based. Libra rules all of our formal relationships on paper. So contracts, business deals, marriage, all of those things. So where you know you need to act, that's when, like, when you get the clarity, you need to move. When we talk about romance, when we talk about stepping into leadership, all of those things, okay? That astral travel, obsessing, stalker, unlikely. You might be needing to watch somebody. You might have a stalker check you out. But you do, you know what? I do, you know, in your dreams, it's manifesting, right? It is kind of, could be someone whose mind you're on. I do have would you accept, apology, romantic gestures, offers, higher commitment. So you may have someone interested in you on a romantic level, or someone you're dealing with where things are weird, like on my table. That's definitely coming through. But that also talks about, will you accept? You have offers coming in that you will have the option to accept, whether we're talking about love and romance, whether we're talking about contracts, business deals, promotions, okay? All right. Pile number 3. Okay. You know what, with the Gemini and the twins, like, yeah, people, twin flames, love and romance and all those things, but there's someone around you that you're very similar to, and that's going to be key here. Tell me. Pile number 3. What's the karma, the outcome for my periwinkle? Ooh, that's a reversal too. This is my wheel of fortune. This is good fortune. So what's the reversal? Priorities, rocky, reluctance. You know, when it comes to the not certain, because it could be a lack of certainty, right? When we talk about, it could be career, it could be love based. It just feels like because I choose them, but I choose them as in reverse. So someone's not gonna, like, it's a certain thing when we talk about priorities and it being rocky and reluctant. Okay, and that could be you, that could be this person, that could be someone else, but there's someone else where we're talking about priorities and I choose them in reverse. Okay, some of you may think someone chose someone else, or situation chose someone else, and that's not necessarily the case when we talk about clarity. Others of you, it's a clear line of, when we talk about promotions, like you getting the promotion that you maybe thought you weren't going to get. Like some of you may be like, oh, I don't know if I'm getting this promotion, there's someone else up for it. You know what I'm saying? I get that. Yeah. Unique, misunderstood, unknowns, mystery, and intriguing. It feels like a not seeing it coming. It feels like someone getting an unexpected promotion, or an unexpected situation. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like you're expecting someone to choose someone else in a situation where it's not, like, I don't know, it just feels like a surprise. Okay. Okay, check you out. We got androgyny, so ambiguity, sexual identity, gender expression, and style. That's more of that alien energy, a little bit unique. So someone on my table is a little bit different, a little bit unique. Letter A could be relevant. But oops. Here I have a really exciting thing. Like, we talk about leadership, we talk about like relationships, we got show you off and career. So proud, trophy wife, accomplishment, status, and that's just two partners that are just really happy and proud to be together. And then when you have a lot of career success, I feel like a lot of you are going to get both. I feel like a lot of you are going to get both in the most unexpected way. So check you out. So great career pile. Get money. when it comes to love, I guess be open, because it may be someone you don't expect it to be. Some of you, it may come in an unexpected form, okay? One that you wouldn't normally go for. Not saying you're gonna lower your standards. It's gonna be a little bit different, right? Got alien and androgyny. So tell me, give me my advice for my periwinkle, okay? And what should they most look forward to? That card comes out so much. It's like, why does this card come out so much? So what you have to look forward to, your advice is the Camellia. All right. Henbane. Okay, so let me see what this is really quick so we can close you out. Camellia says that I enjoy the world and all that I have. Okay, so it talks about appreciation and gratitude, because I mean, this is a pile of being very, very blessed. So it says they appreciate everything you have, your home, belongings, health, and happiness, right? It talks about gratitude and humility. It talks about luxury and family and friends, and not fearing scarcity. All right, that's your advice. And then you got two. And if I'm not mistaken, Henbane was wanting to go almost in reverse. So let me see what that's all about. Ooh, okay. And it actually came in a different pile. So it says, I welcome and accept my ancestral inheritance. In reverse, it's saying you're blocking that. Don't be blocking that, okay? Because it definitely says it's a block to your ancestral inheritance and inspiration. You're missing a part of the picture and need a fuller scope to proceed clearly. Work with the spirits to uncover the truths and ask questions of your family. It says to research your lineage and honor your ancestors. There's some type of gap. We talk about ancestry and all the things that you need to clear up that will support you going forward, okay? All right, so what's coming in? I should know this card by heart because I see it so much now, right? But it says being part of the enchanted world, okay? It's literally telling you this is the card that I see as risk taking in the most exciting ways. With androgyny and alien, you are gonna be successful in the ways that you just don't expect. Like it feels like a pile. You're gonna try something that you're like, you know what, this feels crazy, but you know what, I'm gonna go for it. And you're gonna do it, and it's gonna work, make sense, and people are gonna be like, why did pile 3 try that? That was so chaotic. But you know what, I'm glad they was goofy enough to do that because it worked. You know what I mean? And by you doing that, you'll get like recognition and praise. You'll be able to step into leadership because in some form, because you'll be doing something that nobody else did in that weird, quirky, unexpected, and underestimated form. That's what I got for you. That's what I got for you. So at the bottom, we've got this dragon tree. That's more energy coming in. Get a quick read on that and close you out. I am strong, powerful, and taking clear action in my life, okay? And it definitely says to use your natural power and take action as necessary and use your magic. I mean, that's coming in, but I mean, there's a lot of action all over my table for this pile. It says things are coming in quickly and that you need to use whatever inspiration, knowledge, wisdom, leadership, support to roll with whatever it is, okay? And then I guess that'll support you with whatever weird energy you got romantically going on, okay? So that is all I have for you today, my pile number 3. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the crew so you can stay in tune with the things we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile number 4, my orange golden marigolds. Let's see what's the karma, the outcome. We're just doing a temperature check, lifting the veil to see what your spirit guides, ancestors, universal energies have to say to you, okay? For those of you that are new, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read from a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson and the journey. All right. It feels airy. Okay. Not quiet, just airy. Like when you're outside and it's just like you hear air. I know that sounds chaotic, but you know what I'm talking about. When you're outside in the wintertime and it's not windy, but like it just feels like air. That's the vibe, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm so sorry that I'm just not a better descriptor. So let me see what these orange marigolds have to say. Pile number 4, please. Give me an overview, please. Right. Hey, this is great. I heard extended lineage. So this would be an ancestral pile of the dead people wanting children, just so you know. Where that's not a thing, where it's a thing, I don't know. But like, it just immediate. But elixir of life feels like extended lineages. It feels like extended bloodlines. But it also talks about extended life force. So what's coming in for you is an extension. Like I don't like to say that in like public readings, but whatever is going on, it just feels like an extended lifeline. Literally, it feels like something about either just something clicking for you in terms of your routines with your health and wellness, or just any type of medical advances, or just being on the same page with your doctors. Like it just feels like an extended lifeline. Okay, that's what I kind of got for this group. So I don't know what's going on, but it feels like immediate support, okay, from the other side. All right. So let me see what's at the bottom. Happiness. Hey, you know what? You pick all the orange and like yellow gold stuff, right? Because look at you with the sunflower. So you have 2 piles, which I think that was the other one that was like a huge like ancestors. It was a prominent ancestral message, if that makes sense. Or presence, should I say. But elixir of life and happiness. Extending your life, making you happier, and happiness actually adding to that. Because the better we feel, the better we live, the longer we live. It's just science, okay? So let me see. Yeah, 6 of Pentacles. There is the Prince. So you know what, I really like this deck in that I always, even before I had this deck, would describe the 6 of Pentacles as kind of the Prince and the Pauper energy. It's having that support. It's that extended. It's someone offering you that elixir of life that you need. So someone supporting you in a way where you're lacking. It could be a very literal sense. Like some of you may literally be lacking when we talk about like resources. And this feels like the support coming in some form. Very much a material support, okay? Card of Charity. So where you need that, I heard like anyone needing like specific transplants, things like that. Oh yeah, definitely, since I have the Magician where we talk about transplants and things like that, I am seeing where you are supported in that journey, okay? It's a public reading. I can't make any promises or anything like that, but I am seeing support in the journey, okay? 6 of Wands is a card of victory, okay? Okay. All right, tell me more about my marigolds. I got a Knight of Pentacles. So my Knight of Pentacles normally gets a little bit of a bad rep because it's the slowest moving of the Knights. But my Knight of Pentacles is very patient, very diligent, moves with certainty, right? It actually technically is the most mature of the Knights because all of the other ones move a little more quickly, right? Knight of Cups is more emotion based. Knight of Wands is more adrenaline based, right? Knight of Swords is like thinking a lot and just rationalizing things. But the Knight of Pentacles is like, no, I need a foundation if I'm going to do this, right? That's kind of what we talk about. And it feels like in support of that, you're finally, things are going to click for you in a way where you start grounding and extending whatever life we're talking about. And life does not need to be your literal life, even though I do get support in your health and wellness, supporting you there, because as we become more successful, we have more resources available to us, and therefore we extend our lifelines, right? I see more here the patience, the diligence, the building of a foundation in multiple areas of life where you extend the lifespan of certain things. So when we talk about like certain relationships, certain careers, right? Like there's people with very physical, laborious professions. And if you need to be able to do that for a little bit longer, I see where you're being supported in building a foundation that will enable you to be able to do that. Okay, that's what I'm getting. What's this? 3 of Wands. Hey, it talks about looking ahead. We have Setter, Apple, Rust. Okay, I like it. Do all of these cards have... No, they don't, but we're going to look at this that just jumped out. We're definitely going to look at this that just jumped out. The Wands, I think a lot of them have sunflowers, and I didn't realize because you have sunflower here and you have them in the corner. So let me see what that is I flung. We'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, 10 of Cups is an ancestral card. It is a card of having a family, of extending a family, and a Hierophant is actually a card of marriage. I've got the Page of Cups and a Queen of Swords. So, you know, I mean, at the honey mushroom, it does feel like looking ahead to extending of life in various ways. Like I mentioned, projects, extending the life of certain projects, of certain careers, of like your life, of bloodlines. Like it's extending timelines. It's like the whole message of this pile, I've not gotten it before, is we're trying to extend the lifeline of this thing, situation, relationship, right? Creating life in and of itself. And it's going to lead to happiness, okay? If you are actively trying to extend the lifeline of something that will actually bring you happiness, you are being supported in that journey, right? Like if you're trying to like, because I also had a pile of, yeah, we're not going to go there. I also had a pile, go to that one if it called you, of kind of not allowing a cycle to close, okay? That's different. Like this isn't resisting a cycle that needs to close. This is, I'm doing this thing, it would benefit me and other people, a la 6 of Pentacles, that Prince card, like being, I would be able to support more other people by extending the lifeline of this thing in the best way, in the most useful, resourceful way. You're being supported in that, okay, whatever that is. So let me get one more. 7 of Wands. Very active energy. Eternal light. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, extending the lifeline of something. Eternal light. This is also a message when I mentioned like this is why all of the, there's 2 tarot decks. I haven't done it in years. I haven't in a collective reading used more than 1 tarot deck per pile in years. But today wanted to do it, so I'm like, we don't fight back, but we want to channel accurately, right? But this deck needed to be here, and I was not using this one if I had to choose. Eternal light, elixir of life. It's kind of like this is one of those piles of the ancestors are always with you. You know what I mean? Like it feels like the Lion King. You know what I mean? Like where you see all of the ancestors in the sky. That feels like this pile. Because eternal light, always with you, fighting and supporting you. So look at you, and the wands are represented with sunflowers. So look at you, Knight of Wands, copper spike. Yeah, you got a lot of wands in a way where I had to notice you had a lot of wands with the sunflower gold. Yeah, that's Dragon's Blood Sage that just knocked over, by the way. Just so we're on the same page. Ooh, a lot going on. I hope we have enough time for all of this. Just reading all of the things as they fall. But I don't want you to forget to go to the sunflower pile. It doesn't have to be the one in this reading. I actually had one last year. I had one last year. And I think it was a hybrid of the marigold and the sunflower. So this may actually be telling you to go to the Lifting the Veil reading from last year. It's in the playlist with all of the woo-woo stuff. And I think I put it in Secret Admirer readings because it has flowers. Okay, so it's in some playlists. You'll be able to find it for sure. It has the word karma in it like this one. But last year we put the sunflower and the marigold combined because there were only 3 piles. Black Dragon's Blood Sage. And I haven't bought that in so long. Like, I found it in a box, y'all. And was like, oh, let's cleanse, because you should. And also I'm trying to not have as much random stuff, y'all. But with success here, we got karmic justice and resilience. You're being supported in the most karmic way. So I knock over Dragon's Blood Sage and as I'm revealing karmic justice. That's a thing, especially when we talk about situations, circumstances, and or people that have been draining you of life. That's a thing, okay? So be on standby for that. Very aggressively, very actively so, because this is the pile of active walking with you ancestors. Like, loud will shove you down. You know what I mean? It's very active. So let me see. Let me pull from this other tarot deck. All right, my pile number 4, my orange marigolds. Tell me the karma, the outcome, what messages do we need here? You know, this card tried to come on the other deck. This card tried to come out in the other deck. Those of you that are avoiding connection, avoiding family, avoiding the priority in seeking that, especially once you start reaching like a certain age and things like that. If you're avoiding the call to like extend a family, this is for my spiritual woo-woos, right? And even if you're not like aggressively like that, like this, so this feels like a pile of you've been getting a call to do that and you've been actively avoiding it. They don't like that, okay? And then we've got, I'm telling you, that elixir of life and happiness, that avoidance of that, okay? So let me see, get one more in the bottom. And we'll talk about those of you where you already have that. You may not be prioritizing it enough, okay? You're not prioritizing it enough. And they're not, okay. All right. Very active message. Any setbacks and things like that, that's because you don't listen, okay? You're avoiding here. So you're being pushed in that direction. So what happens when we talk about, for those of you that are not woo-woo, like when we talk about like God, those of you from the Abrahamic faith, what's the lesson they always teach you in all of the religious schools, right? When you're not on the path you're supposed to be on and you're resisting God, right? Things don't necessarily go in your favor, not because you're being punished, but because you're resisting the path. It's kind of like I'm telling you to go this way and you're trying to go that way, and then me trying to pull you here, you keep tripping, you twist your ankle and all of that. That's on you. You twisted your own ankle because I'm telling you to go this way and you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's aggressive, but it's the thing. It's like I told you not to go down those stairs and you did it anyway and you fell because I told you not to go down those stairs because there was like a construction line and you went anyway. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the universal message here of there's something you're supposed to be prioritizing, whether we're talking about a stable routine that's going to be healthier for you, just in terms of your actual health, expanding a bloodline, or creation of life. And that could be any of your creations. When we talk about the things we create that are going to deeply benefit other people, right? Like when we talk about all of the inventors that have come, right? Like how many things do we use day to day that we wouldn't have access to if some idiot just went down the wrong set of stairs, right? You know, I'm being facetious and dramatic, but like imagine like if, you know, as it seems like this pile is a little hard-headed, imagine if all of the greatest inventors were as hard-headed as you. We wouldn't even have internet, y'all. We wouldn't even, this wouldn't even be a thing. Look at you. So you're being encouraged to follow what you're called to follow, even if it's a little bit scary, okay? Because I'm telling you, 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles talks about a huge loss because you're wanting to do things your way. Let me see what's... and not the way that it's intended. And the correction of that very, very quickly. Like, it's not a bad pile. It's just if you've experienced setbacks, if things have felt like extra, like bad luck, that's why. Okay? Because the 8 of Wands is a rapid shift, a rapid change. What's it? Yeah, moving beyond it. So we got 8s, 2 8s, okay? My little Queen of Wands. I'm just being nosy at this point. Yeah, okay. It's action. I told you this is a very active spirit team on my table. So let me pull from this healing oracle. My pile number 4. They're just trying to help you. Some of you, the shadow side of this is some of you, they're trying to buy you more time for some stuff that you've just been putting off and you've been like going all over the wrong path with, if that makes sense. Like, the shadow isn't that like you're in trouble. It's they're trying to support you. Like, they're trying to help you readjust and buy more time to get the things done that you're supposed to be doing, if that makes sense. And whatever situation, circumstance we're talking about. But again, the lighter side is we got things to do. We got things to do. And they're supporting you in extending, expanding, and creating those things. Whether we're talking about literal life or creative endeavors. Okay. All right. So if you feel this feels like my pile, like, you know, I sometimes when I'm get a little too woo-woo in the public readings, I feel like people think that's a little off and crazy, but I feel like this is the pile of you've been seeing some stuff happen or feeling some stuff happen in a way where you're like, no, let me listen to Onyx, because even if I'm not woo-woo, it's some stuff I can't explain, so she must know what she's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. But ground. Okay. Ground. But yeah, it is very woo-woo, ancestral transformation. And I do take that in a very literal confirmation of this being heavy, not just spirit guide. Because when we talk about spirit guides, you all have a variety of religions. And within all of your religions, spirit guides are not always people that were alive in the 3D. Right? When we start talking about like angels and arguably like the Orisha and like higher beings that are intermediaries between God and people, they don't always have to be based on your religious texts, beings that have lived here on this plane. So that's why when I definitely needed you to know, when we say grounding, transformation, we talk about the ground, and transformation, we talk about some support from, regardless of your religion, people that have come before you, people that you may even have known in this life. Okay, on my table. All right, that's probably why it's so aggressive. That's usually when it's the most aggressive, because it's like people that know you, people that knew you, right, versus higher beings that wouldn't really be as invested, if that makes sense. All right. I mean, depending, this pile of things you're supposed to be doing and creations you're supposed to be doing, it probably would still be as invested, just because it's like there's certain things that need to be done that you need to be doing. Okay. All right, Marigolds. Look at you. A time to give rather than take. New moon and Virgo. Yeah, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it's not going to be good. I don't mean to say it all aggressively like that, but because you got prosperity lies ahead in reverse. There's a lot of green. Okay, so there's some things that need to be done in this group, okay? All right. I'm also taking this because I got a new moon in Virgo and a new moon in Taurus reverse, which would be Scorpio season. Halloween is coming up, and around that we have that new moon in Scorpio, which would be this, okay? But there's a prosperity lies ahead and a blockage to that when we talk about giving. Let me see what Melon Pop has to say. If you've been prioritizing your career over your family, whether already in existence or building, or like you have a career that's not necessary. I'm trying to word this in a way that doesn't confuse you. If you've not been prioritizing the things that you're supposed to be prioritizing in favor of career, that's part of the issue, because I had that in reverse. Okay, let me see. I do like my new moon in Virgo upright because that is elixir of life. This is a sixth house energy. It is your lifeline energy because it's the house of like your health and your wellness, and it does talk about those acts of service. Now, in the lightest of sense, assets. This is a reversal of assets. So where you're lacking in assets, where you're lacking in that elixir of life energy, you are being supported there. Okay? That's how they're trying to support you. Because this would be in reverse. It would be more an inheritance space. Like, we're going to give to you so that you can have. If that makes sense. Because that's what's on my table. So let me see. Tell me more. It's always that one pile. That's chaos and conflict. Look at you. We got messages. It's complicated, platonic, perspective, chance, just friends. You know, this feels like an avoidance of messages. Like it feels like stop avoiding the messages you're getting. Because this is the friend zone card. This is a card of like, oh, you friend zoned. That's it. Like we're just trying to be friends. But it like, when we take it in a broader sense, like when you friend zone someone, that's like an avoidance of a situation that you're not interested in dealing with in that way, right? That's what I got. Let me see. Oh yeah, they definitely are calling you out. Got it. So just friends. So that's that. I mentioned avoidance of like the things on the table in favor of like career and whatnot. Because listen, like some of you have things you're supposed to be doing that are not career based. So you know how we always have like, for example, me, like you got your career, you got your side hustle, you got your business and all the things you're doing. Like some of you, like an example of that would be if I was avoiding the channel, right? I still have my day-to-day life. I still have my day-to-day living. But if I was avoiding the channel and you guys' messages that you all let me know day in and day out that they support you and making sure you're doing what you need to be doing on your journeys, that would be an example. Now, I'm not doing that, so good for me. But if you're working and avoiding your life outside of work, like building a family, adding to a family, dating in a way that would allow you to have a family, that's what they're saying. If you're avoiding like using your career to hide from your projects, that would also be supporting other people. Like I just use myself as a reference in that instance. Like you're being called to stop, right? Avoiding connections, because this feels like this card here is being used in a sense of, oh, I just want to be friends with people. But like these are people that you or person you would be interested in romantically. You're just avoiding romance overall. Would spice things up. It's someone you're attracted to. That's what I'm getting. Like that's being called to be more of a priority for this group. Let me get one more on the bottom, and then I will get your advice and what you can expect to come in. Individuality, expressive, artistic, unique, fashion, courageous, trendsetter. Yeah, these are your individual. There's some creations, like things you're passionate about, you need to be prioritizing, because this could be avoiding things that you're passionate about that you should be creating. Okay, this could be you avoiding connections that would put you in a position to have family or extend your family. Okay, this could just be you avoiding things that bring you joy just overall. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot here to unpack. I don't have time for that. So I'm going to take the bottom. I'll get your advice and then we'll close it out. There's definitely a connection here. Definitely one that you can pursue or step into an energy of becoming available enough to pursue when it comes in, right? With the old school. So vintage, chivalrous dates, courtship, and photos. Especially when we have these long-term relationships, like some of you, there's like someone that's been around for quite some time that you're like pretending you're just friends with, that you could really be invested in. That's a specific message for some of you. Specific message, because I got here where we're like, we got photos, we got like the friendship, but there's like this underlying attraction. So I don't know which of you are doing that. Stop. But I also have a very traditional relationship on the table, whether current or just the potential to have in the near future. Because again, with the ancestor heavy energy here, they're like, yeah, this will be my traditional such and such couple, right? You have all a variety of religious and ethnic backgrounds, but some of you here, there's an ancestral presence on the table. It's like, yeah, they would look so good as a traditional, insert whatever label couple. Okay, I love it. That's so cute. All right, tell me more. Give me my advice. All right, love this. And then give me my final message of what my pile number 4 needs to expect. What should they expect? What do they have to look forward to? Some of the cards are repeating, and that's okay. Let me get my book because I do not know what these cards mean. Really quick, what is the advice? Thorn apple is, I don't know if, so there may have been a different pile, or it could have been this one. They're kind of blurring. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The energy is different today. Just bear with me. But something about apples is a thing, okay? But it says, I am beautiful, I am powerful, and I can go wherever I want. Okay, and it says to pay attention to your dreams and meditative visions. Okay, yeah, they're talking to you through your dreams and you're not listening, right? It says there's a message from the world above or the world below we need to receive. It calls us to dream and to remember our dreams. It can indicate a potential romantic or sexual opportunity in your love life and urges you to feel beautiful and draw what you want to you. Listen, I don't need these cards, but I love that I have this book because y'all don't listen. And those of you that are woo were like, yeah, things have been interesting around me. And some of you are still hesitant, like she's just making that up, or she's projecting, or she's biased. I don't care enough for all that. I'm being so serious. I don't have time for that. I channel the energy as it comes through and I read the cards as what they say. And your advice, the thorn apple, if you don't believe that's what that is, thorn apple, boom, boom. What does it say? Pay attention to your dreams, okay? And I'm talking about ancestral pile. It says a message from the world above, which yes, or below, right? We need to receive. And it wants you to remember your dreams. I have a lot of dream readings. Go there. But what's that energy on the table I told you about? What did it say? A potential romantic or sexual opportunity in your love life. The end. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. So I'm gonna go back to oak because that's something you can expect. I already kind of have a feeling of what that one says because I think it came out earlier. It does say I know my own strength, but it talks about strength, protection, good fortune. So great things coming in, okay? So what's at the bottom? We got cannabis, live your best life. Some of y'all, you know what? This is really a call to go out and just like live and enjoy your life for this pile. Number 6, we got cannabis. Y'all know what that is. Y'all know what that is. Let me see what it says in a magical sense. I am open. I am connected. I am joyful. Check you out. Be aware, be sensitive, connect and commune. Okay? Feel connected and play. Now is a time for letting down rigid defenses, enjoying the world. Find your bliss in simple everyday things and be aware of the vast levels of life all around you, seen and unseen, physical and spiritual. You got a lot of fun coming in, a lot of easygoing energy coming in, a lot of happiness and elixir of life coming in. But you need to do what they're telling you to do, okay? In the ways that they're telling you to do it, all right? All right, so that is all I have for you today, my marigold pile. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the tribe so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching.